Being in the UK, she is also donning that presidential diamond ring, signifying that she's earning over $500,000 from the comfort of her home. She is also the #1 income earner in the state of Texas. She's a top income earner. Guys, she's also our 2022 MVP of this amazing company. And we have over 138,000 agents. And again, she's in the top income earners, right? Without further ado, I give you none other than 6-star director, Miss JP Watkins Mutes.
Thank you, Robin. Y'all give me some fire emojis in the chat. Robin Siddell is a absolute sweetheart. This young lady hails out of the ATL by way of Arkansas, where she spent many years as a financial aid director. And she would help our children go to college, and she would help them with their student loans and their payments. And so excited for you, Miss Robin, because as a one-star director, you are the top 1% of the company, and you are blazing a trail. Miss Robin Siddell booked her bosses 50 and Fabulous and made a $10,000 check, booking her bosses 50 and Fabulous. So this young lady is bad on booking, bad on building, and she is truly a servant leader. She was my servant leader of the year. So happy Sunday. In the United States today, it is Father's Day. Can everybody say happy Father's Day to the men, all the dads on the line today? And we are definitely excited for you to join us, all of the men that are on. We're excited to celebrate you. But I have an exciting co-host because today I represent the USA, but I'm going to bring on a young lady who represents the UK. And this young lady has truly blazed a trail. She has not been in the business very long at all, but she has come in with now a team in the thousands. She is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star director. So her team is eclipsing, I believe, 5,000. She can correct me how many people it is, but she is a $500,000 earner from the comfort of her own home. And this young lady is a wife. She's a mom. She's a go-getter, top 10 income earner out of 135,000 people. And this young lady has a slew of ring earners and directors behind her leadership. So I want to present to you none other than Caroline Hamilton. Give it up for Caroline. Caroline, if you will raise your hand, then I will be able to see and unmute you. Let's see if you will raise your hand or give me. I'm trying to see where I can unmute because I muted down the entire line. So let me see if I can find you, Caroline, because I know you're here. Okay, there you are. Okay, scroll through and I found you. Okay, can you unmute now?
Hey, so sorry, I couldn't work out how I raised my hand. I've never had to do that before. I was going like this, but you didn't mean that, JP. Hey, thank you so much for that incredible welcome, JP. I am so excited to be on this call co-hosting with you. It's an absolute honor to be invited by you, JP. I've watched you since I've joined the business, go to that 6-star director, something that I've got my eyes on myself, as you know, and you've been a huge inspiration to me. So to have the honor of co-hosting this evening with you is huge for me. So I just thank you for inviting me on.
Well, I want people to know, Caroline, how easy it is for them to enjoy some of the freedoms that we enjoy. We've had some really great conversations, everyone, and that's why we're doing this Zoom, is because she and I have dialogue about how we got here. How did we get to 500,000? How are we here? And we had such a stimulating conversation. We decided to let you guys in on the conversation. We decided to let you guys hear what we're talking about. And sometimes when you're in the room with people, iron sharpens iron, and you're able to understand how they got here. So I think that one of the appropriate things for us to do is simply introduce ourselves. If you don't mind sharing with people, Caroline, your background. How did you get into industry of network marketing? What was your industry prior to this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I joined this business about 5 years ago, and prior to this, my job was in investment banking. That was kind of straight after university. I did that for about 10 years, and then I left to have my first child. I've now got three boys. I was a stay-at-home mum for 10 years. And then when my youngest started school, my husband was sort of saying to me, what are you going to do now? Are you going to get a job? Like, are you going to go back to work? And to be honest with you, by that point, I wouldn't have wanted to have gone back to my investment banking job, even if I could have. I'd lost all my clients, but I did not want to go back to turning up at an office at 7 a.m. in the morning, working till 6 p.m. at night, taking my clients out, not being home to put my kids to bed. My kids have been my priority for 10 years, and I wanted them to remain that. So I was looking for something I could do flexibly. And, the reality is, if I'd have gone to any employer and said, look, I'm looking for a job, I've been a stay-at-home mum for 10 years, I've got no experience, I want something that I can do during the hours of like 9:30 to 2:30 to fit in around school. Can I have sick whenever my kids are off sick? I'd like to be at home with them. I'm also going to need to be off for sports days, sick days. I'm also going to need to be able to go to school plays. School holidays are 100%. I'm not going to be working. No one would have employed me. Nobody. So I was sat here thinking, like, what am
Then
I
on
going to
top of that, you want to make six figures, of
Yeah,
course.
exactly. Yeah, I want to make what I used to make in banking. And I was unemployable. So when I came across this business, I actually found it through somebody on Instagram. And when I came across the business, I thought, I had nothing to lose at this point. I didn't have many other options. But I loved holidays. I had no experience in network marketing, no experience in working in travel, marketing. I had zero social media following. I was like a locked private account with 70 followers. But I just thought, I've got nothing to lose, and I do have the work ethic, and I'm prepared to go for it. So I jumped in. And, one thing that I will always say to people is I went all in. I have turned up for my business every day for 5 years. To get where I am, it takes hard work. It's not going to be, a get rich quick scheme or anything like that. You're going to have to work. You work for what you get out of this business. And I was prepared to work for it. And I've run with it. And it's been incredible for me. And it has ticked every single box. Like you said, JP, like, where else would I, within 5 years, be earning over $500,000 annually? In fact, if I'd have gone back to investment banking, I wouldn't be. I'd worked in investment banking for 10 years, and I didn't get paid anywhere near what I do in this business. If you're prepared to work for it, this business 100% delivers, which, has been incredible for me. And I know it has been for you as well. You're obviously from a corporate background, and I'd love you to share that actually. That kind of transition from a corporate background to network marketer, what did that look like? And why did you decide to jump in? And specifically, why did you decide to jump into Planet Marketing? I'd love to know.
Well, I was in corporate America for 20 years, and I went to school and I thought I was going to be a radio DJ. And my name was Anita Love because I was overnight. So, Anita Love, it's very corny. And I thought I was going to do that, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out that I was a DJ. And then I got into property management. I was leasing apartments to people, I was helping people in the industry of, property management for 20 years. And so I got fired in 2014 within 1 year of losing my job and made redundant. I had to move back home with my mother. I lost everything. My money was funny and my change was strange. And so I was open. At a certain age, you start thinking, in your 20s and your 30s, you're thinking, I can just work enough hours. I can work, work, work. Give me 2, 3 jobs. And you have that kind of energy and interest to work a lot of hours. But when you get to be the age of 40, you're like, I don't think I want to work this hard forever. Anybody with me on that? Like, no, I don't think I want to do this. And so my mind, when I got fired, I was right around 38, 39. And I was thinking, what else can I possibly do? And this business hit my desk. I already did network marketing before. I had done coffee, I had done energy, I did other stuff. So I knew it was legitimate, but I didn't really like sales. Anybody just not a salesperson, you don't feel like you're a salesperson. And I really didn't want to sell coffee or weight loss products or juices, lotions. I didn't want to sell anything. So when this hit my desk, I wanted to work from home. I wanted time freedom and money freedom, but I didn't want to sell. So what I like about this business, Caroline, is that travel sells itself. They know where they want to go. Everyone wants to go to Disney, Bora Bora, Fiji, Maldives. People want to come to your city. They want to be in London. If they're in the US, they want to be in London. And people in London maybe want to come to Texas where I live, so travel is not on trial. Travel is not a hard sell. People know where they want to go. And so when I found this company, I met Donald Bradley, who was our founder and CEO, and I was just very impressed with him. I was very impressed with his leadership. I was very impressed with his vision. And he laid out this company, the compensation plan, the vision. I was the fourth application to hit the system. It was Shedrick White. Yes, it was Shedrick White, Ann Jones, Orlando Moore, and then me. And so then I believe from there it was like Eileen Ross and a few other people, but we were here when there was no evidence. There was absolutely no checks, no cars, no vacation. It was none of this. Now you guys hear about our accolades and our accomplishments. When I started, there was no evidence that this would work. And so Louise Gatlin, who's a 4-star, she can attest to this. We went many years and people questioned whether this would work. And we just stayed the course for 10 years. I've been with the company now 10 years. And I went from making $60,000 a year on my corporate job to now over $60,000 per month in this business. And I say that not to impress you, but to impress upon you, this is not a little thing. This is not a little travel thing. People say, oh, how are you doing the little thing, your little thing? This is big. Somebody put in the chat, this is big. This is big. It is not a little thing. This is a big thing. So I want to know for you, after you, Caroline, got into the business, what was it that clicked for you that you said, it's big? I actually can make a lot of money, because some people get in it just trying to do a little travel. But how did you take it to $250,000, figures, quarter to half? How did you see it bigger?
Yeah, you know what, JP, for me, that was education. I understood our compensation plan, and I understood the amount of income that was available, that we were, I joined 5 years after you, or maybe 4 years after you. And I could see we were going into momentum as we are now. This was a once in a lifetime opportunity to be part of a network marketing company in momentum. It gives me goosebumps now. And I was so excited to be a part of it. And I knew that I had to run with it. This is big. People are still writing, this is big. It is big. And I knew that I had to run with it. And I understood the compensation plan. And for me, it was the Planet Marketing Pledge. Now, for anyone who's not familiar of our pledge, it is that when you hit directorship within our company, which is when you reach 100 people within your organization, then your business, your income streams become willable to whoever you wish to leave that to. So it's about creating a legacy for your families, for your future. And for me, I have got 3 boys. Our middle son, he has got learning difficulties and disabilities that mean he won't be able to lead an independent life. And for me, when I realized, that's always has been a weight for us. Like, how are we going to care for him now for the rest of our lives as my husband and I get older? How do we continue to care for him? But long after we're gone, like, how will I make sure he has the life and the care that I want him to have for the rest of his life? And when I came across that pledge, and I realized that the work that I do in this lifetime, every hour of work that I put into this business, will continue to pay him for the rest of his life. That was it for me. That was like a turning point, and I was all in. And luckily, I was presented with that compensation plan and that Planet Marketing Pledge early in my journey. So I understood it, and I was going to run with it. So I had a real purpose and a real why that made me want to get to work every day, even on the days when maybe I didn't feel like it. We all have days where you know, it's gorgeous weather here, JP, in the UK at the moment. Everybody takes some time off, right? Because it's nice weather. Not me. I'm working because I'm preparing a legacy for my family, right? You know, when I'm on holiday, I'm still working. I don't work as many hours as I do when I'm at home, but I still tap into my business and turn up every single day because I've got such a strong purpose and why. And then, you know, for me, that's now gone on to help my team find their purpose, find their vision, find their why. What do they want to do with this business and where do they want to take it? Because that, you know, has just been, it's been an absolute game changer for me. It's been the reason why I've run with it. It's the reason why I personally have created momentum in my organization. But the group and team momentum that we have with lots of directors pop in, those six-figure income earners, it comes from helping people understand what they can achieve. Because this business is truly special. It can give ordinary people, it does give ordinary people extraordinary lives, whatever that might look like to you. It doesn't have to be $1 million a year, just because that's what it is for you and me, JP. It doesn't have to be for everybody else, right? It might be, you know, quitting their job, going part-time, dropping a day or two a week, having an extra £1,000 or dollars coming in a month, whatever it is, that's possible for everybody. So it's understanding what do they want to achieve and help them do that.
You know, Caroline, I love hearing the story about your son and what you're doing for your son. If you are a parent, put in the chat, I am. I am. If you're a parent, because I think all parents want to provide that stability. But a lot of us, Caroline, think we have time. And one of the questions that you asked me was, what do I like best about this business? And
Yeah.
I really love, and it's hard for me to say the time freedom and money freedom because both of those are so good to me. But I do love that when I wake up every day, I don't have anywhere I have to be. When I wake up, I can decide today is Monday, but it's the same as Sunday. Tuesday is the same as Thursday. All of my days are the same, but I get to decide. And as you stated, many times we're choosing to work because, guys, I want you to write this in your notes, right in the chat. When you're young, stack your income. When you're young, stack your income. A lot of times, Caroline, we're wasting time. We're wasting time Netflixing, chilling, and we're wasting time Taco Tuesday. We're wasting time doing all of these things when we could be young and stacking income because you're going to need this money. There's going to come a day that you're going to need something. Something's going to occur in your family, in your life. Something's going to happen. And so I just am, when you say, what do I like most? The time freedom, but the money freedom, because I know I'm going to, when I got fired in 2014, I didn't see that coming. So you can get me once, you can say, oh, life is lifing. But when you get to be 40, 50, 60, you already know life is going to do what? Life. So you should already know that. That should not come as a surprise to anyone. And so that's why this business is such a game changer and lifesaver because we can prepare and stack our income while we're young and we're able to do it. In the sexiest, hottest industry in the world, travel, this is a no-brainer. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Caroline, because I had another question for you. You stated that you help your, because I said to you, how do you get your team in motion so quickly? And you said, I help people work towards their freedom. And so, how is it? Because the theme of today is when currencies collide. In the United States, we get to make dollars, but you have team members in the US and the UK. I have team members in the US and the UK. So we get a chance to truly make dollars and pounds. Internationally, we have teams in the Caribbean and all over the 20 countries we're in. But when we talk about how do we get people started and how do we get people going, you said, I help people to get towards their freedom. I help people to realize their freedom. In the US, though, we don't always have an easy conversation about people being free because people pride their job. Many people love, and it's not that we're saying you need to hate your job, but what if your job quits you? And that's one of the questions that I think the UK has embraced. Like, we're all working towards freedom. I want more people in the US to embrace that mindset. Work towards your freedom, whatever that is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think here in the UK, so a lot of my business is made up of mothers, and that was kind of how I started. It's of course grown arms and legs now, and there's lots of different people within my organization and men too. But it very much started as flexibility for mothers. A way to have something that you can be the mum at the school gates, a drop off and pick up, and you can be the mum at the side of swimming lessons and football pitches or soccer or whatever we call it. You can be that mum there on the sick days where you're a mum first, and you still can earn six figures doing it. And we have a lot of mums who desperately want to spend more time with their families. They want to sack their bosses. They want to leave their jobs. And I have a lot of mums who have joined me, working 5 days a week, and they've said to me, I don't want to keep doing this. I want to be the mum who's there for my children to see those milestones. I don't want to miss out on everything. I don't want to be paying somebody else to look after my child. That's not, that's what I want. I want to be at home with them. But how can I work? How can I bring in an income that matches what I'm being paid? And the beauty of this business is that it's not a huge risk. We're not, you don't have to quit your job to do this business. I have loads and loads of people who have joined me and they've slowly dropped a day at a time as they've replaced that income. So there's not that huge risk of saying, right, that's it. I'm packing in my job. I'm quitting. And then all of a sudden they've got no income coming in and they're scrambling to try and make that up. It can be something that you work alongside to gradually, within the course of 2 years, 3 years, however quickly you want to do it, replace an income. I've got mums who've been on maternity leave, built this up during maternity leave, so they don't have to go back full time or even at all. And also, JP, I talk about mums a lot because that was for me, where I started with this flexibility for mothers. But I have also got a huge leg of my business that is people in their 20s. And it's something in the UK now that we are finding more and more, I think, especially since COVID and lockdown, when people got the option or had to, they were forced, actually didn't have the option, they were forced to work from home. And people have said, do you know what? I like that. I want to have that flexibility. And, I've got a huge leg of my business now of people in their 20s who are not doing a 9 to 5. They're never doing it. They refuse to do it from the beginning. They want the freedom to travel and take their business with them wherever they want in the world. And they're just after that time freedom, that location freedom. The financial freedom, of course, comes with it. But for a lot of people, time freedom is more important. Being with the people they love, doing the things that they love, not being tied to a job that they hate and sitting in a 9 to 5. Because, life can be very short, it flies by. I see that with my own children. They grow up in the blink of an eye, and I am so grateful, honestly, every day that I have been able to be present for all of that. And also not sacrifice a career at the same time, because this has been a career for me, and it pays me better than any job would. And it's incredibly rewarding in so many ways. And that time freedom for me, like I said, we've got people who want to run this from a beach in Bali, but I want to run it from the side of football practice. That's what I want. I want to run it when I can fit it around my family. That's my goal. And for a lot of people, these goals don't have to be huge. They don't have to be about moving to the other side of the world. They can just be about spending more time with the people who mean the most to you. And I think that's what's really special.
And you know what? We deserve it. We deserve it. And so many people don't believe that they deserve it. They think that and I remember thinking that, oh, I'm doing so well. I'm making 60,000 a year. And so many people will have you to think you want too much, you think too much, you believe too much. So many people want us to water down those goals. They want you to dumb down your goals. They want you to make it small. No, keep it big, dream big, think big. Do not think that you have to fit in a box. And that's one of the things I love about you, Caroline, is that you're not fitting in anybody's box. You're not trying to march to anyone's tune but your own. And that's the path that I'm on. So many people don't accept what we do. You know, in the UK and US, they don't think that businesses like this are legitimate, but we're showing the new voice. Somebody put in the chat, new voice. We are the new voice of entrepreneurship. We are the new voice of earning money because we're doing it at home. Today for Father's Day, my husband wanted me to cook bang bang shrimp. I cook every single day. That's what I love to do every day. And people say, how do you work this business and cook every day? That's like crazy to most people, but it's my solace. It's my peace. It's what I like to do. And so today I made bang bang shrimp. I made garlic noodles. I did shrimp, seafood fried rice. It was a whole Asian theme for you know, Father's Day. But every day I kind of work my business in the daytime. I'll do coaching calls. I'll prospect. But then about 2 o'clock every day, I start cooking dinner. And by the time I'm doing my Zooms at 5 or 6 o'clock, the kitchen is closed. Everybody's had their dinner. Everybody, you know, you're on autopilot. But I like being able to do it my way, the way that I want to do it, because I'm doing Zooms from 5 to 10 a lot of nights. And if I want to take the night off, I don't have to ask permission. If I want to take the weekend off, I don't need to ask permission. And so that's one of the things that I love. Like you said, total and complete freedom is what we're offering people today. So if you have a question, whether you're a business partner or a guest, we want to open the floor for business for questions. Caroline, was there anything else before we take Q&A that you wanted to ask me, or did we cover all those questions?
I think, you know, I think that's been great. And just to echo kind of what you said, JP, I always say to people when they start, this business is absolutely for everybody, whether it's £500 a month, $1,000, whatever you're looking for. But also, I just want to echo what you said. Don't be afraid to think big, right? And this is something I've started sharing with my team now. You know, how much I earn. And again, like you said, it's not to impress people. It's so they can understand what is possible within 5 years of being in this business if you put the work in. And I'm not stopping. I haven't got here and gone, okay, that's enough money for me. I want to change my family's for generations to come. And I'm not afraid to say, I want to be the person who flies my family everywhere business class, right? And doesn't even think about it. I'm just like, yes, I'll do it. We go to the best places, we live the best life, you know, and that is what is possible from this business.
You go business class, you don't want to go back. Like there's something that changes. When I came to London the last time, me and Miss Ima went first class, and my mom was like, "Oh, we get to lay all the way out." Oh, it was so funny. But you just don't want to go back to coach when you, right, Caroline? Like,
Yeah, yeah. And you know, this is an opportunity that you can do these things, that you can change your life, your family's lives, your, you know, future generations forever. And, you know, again, it's something I always say to people, if you're given an opportunity to live an extraordinary life, to change everything, then run with it. Don't ask questions, run with it. Ask questions later. I'm still running and asking questions, honestly. I'm still sometimes like not quite sure what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's going to change my life. And, you know, really do run like your dreams depend on it, because this is an opportunity that is going to give you everything and more.
I love it. So let's summarize some of what we talked about for those of you who are listening in live or some of you who are listening to the playback. We are travel agents with IntelliTravel who can refer other travel agents to either save money or make money on travel, and we recruit them in Planet Marketing. So it's two companies that work together to either book travel or to recruit other agents to do the same. We call it sharing, and those two businesses work together. So Allison had a question. She said, do you need two accounts, US and UK? No, one account takes you in 20 countries. So we have an account with IntelliTravel that covers 20 countries, and we have an account with Planet Marketing that covers 20 countries. So we don't have to have special licensing to do business abroad. We all get to work under the umbrella of IntelliTravel and Planet, and we get access with our one business to 20 countries around the world. It's absolutely incredible. So you don't need a US account or a UK account. You have a IntelliTravel account, Caroline, and a Planet Marketing business. Those businesses, you do business all over the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the beauty of it. It's we can work with people everywhere. You know, you can have a multi-country business, and there's not many, you know, that you have that opportunity, which is incredible. It's brilliant. And we've got team in the US, we've got team in the UK, we've obviously got team in Ireland as well, Republic of Ireland, the Caribbean. It's incredible.
Okay, Nicole says, what advice would you give women over 45 with a current job or business having network marketing success? Well, girl, we are those women, honey, and we're in our 40s, and some of us are 40 plus, okay? We are those women. So, yes, you can have massive success. And in fact, I would have to say that, like you said, people who are in their 20s and 30s, great. But once you hit 30s, 40s, even 50s, and above, you have wisdom, Caroline. You have now wisdom. And so, what I love about being older is it's a transferable skills. We know what life was in corporate America. We know how to appreciate being disciplined in this business. Sometimes in your 20s and 30s, you don't appreciate time freedom. You probably may not have kids. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have real life. But once you hit a certain age, once you've been bullied in corporate America, once people have fired you, mistreated you, toxic, when you already have toxic environment at work, you don't want to go through that. But the corporate experience may have developed you. Life may have developed you. So the older you are, you come with different experiences that can be beneficial. Would you agree, Caroline?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I wanted to add to that as well, JP, is so I'm 44. So, you know, I'm with you, Nicole. You know, I'm almost the same age as you. And I think it's really important to say that if you've got other commitments, because we've all got other commitments, you know, lots of people have got full-time jobs, they've got families, they've got people they care for. Now, be intentional with your time. You don't have to have hours and hours to work this business every day, but you have to be smart with your time. Don't go to a 9 to 5 and then come home and say, I'm too tired to build my dreams and sit and watch Netflix. Allocate some time to work this business because this is what's going to change your life. So even if you can give an hour or two every day, set that aside and treat this as a business because it will pay you like a business if you treat it like one. If you treat it like a hobby and you dip in and out, then it's not, you know, it'll pay you like a hobby. But if you make the time for it, so just when you have the time, be really intentional with it. Don't be surfing the internet. Don't have Netflix on in the background. You're half working on the business. You know, actually sit down, give it the focus and intention that it deserves.
Absolutely. I love that. Anyone can lock and load in this business. That's the beauty of it. Anyone can make a decision whether you're 25, 45, 55, 70. You can. I have a young lady on my team, Willie Mae Ellery. Director Ellery is 79 years old. She's a one-star director. So, and I also know that people like Nicole Berry, she's like in her, not even 30 years old yet. So, you know, guys, there's a very big range. Someone said, how do you find people to share this business with? And I think that we represent really two strong ways. You are an online guru, a genius. I'm a belly to belly genius. And so the two of us do it both ways. I still post online. I still have an online presence, but I also don't miss if I'm out with my friends or husband for a dinner. If somebody's a sharp server, I'm going to prospect them. If I go to a restaurant and somebody looks good and I'm like, well, you know, I'm complimenting the person. What do you do? I don't miss people that are in front of me. I don't miss opportunities that are in my face. But I also dip and dabble online, but you also are strong with online presence. How do you find people, Kara?
Yeah, you know, I love to do a bit of both too, JP, but you're right. Like most of my business is built online. I like to connect with people who are similar to me. So I look online for mums, places that I would love to go to, whether that's hotels or restaurants or, you know, whatever it is. I look for places that I would go and I connect with those people and start to build up relationships with people. But, you know, when people say to me, who would you share this with? I say, who would you not share this with, right? This is a universal product. Everybody loves to travel. And in my opinion, most people want more money. There's very few people in the world who'd say, I'm okay, I've got enough money. You know, everybody wants more. or they should be wanting more, to upgrade their lifestyle. And when you start to share with people that this isn't just about you, this is about what you're going to leave to your children, the legacy that you're going to leave behind, that's when people, should be listening. Share that with people. Okay, not everybody is going to jump in and say, yes, please, I'm all in. But you're looking for the right people. Everybody should, in my opinion. They're not necessarily all going to jump in, but share it with everybody. Don't keep it to yourself. Get out there and share. Everybody loves holidays. It's the easiest topic in the world to start a conversation up about. And the second easiest topic is what do you do for work? Because it's what we love to talk about, what you do for work and when you're going on holiday. And people love a good moan about what they do for work. So use that as your opportunity to get in and start talking to them about this business.
I love it. Our next question is, what advice would you give someone who has stepped away from the business for 3 months and wants to start back up? Well, Caroline, this business is very forgiving. What I love is every day you can hit the reset button. We
Yes.
all started at one. We all started bronze. Believe it or not, Caroline and I were bronze builders at one point in time. Once upon a time, we were silver. Once upon a time, we were gold, right? We went through the same bronze, silver, gold. And so if you walked away for 3 months, go bronze. Challenge yourself to go bronze again. Get 3 people. New blood is the lifeblood of your business. Every day you can reset. And if people from your team have disconnected because you disconnected, it's okay because you go running and they'll wake back up. Caroline, would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And JP, a lot of people say this to me. It's like, oh, I've got myself in a dip. I don't know how to get back out of it. How do I get going again? And it's like you said, every day's a new day, right? Think at the end of every day, would I hire myself or would I fire myself today? The work that I've put in, would you employ you? Okay. And you want to end every single day saying, I would 100% hire me. But work your way out of a dip. It's very easy if you haven't done anything to sit there and go, oh, I can't get myself out of it. And then another day goes by and another day goes by. And before you know it, 3 months has gone by and you haven't worked on your business. And the quickest way to get yourself out of a dip is to start the work again. Start putting it in, start getting those results. And when you get those people who want to know more about the business, who want to come on an information call, who want to say yes and join you, that is going to pull you out the dip because you're going to be so excited by the positivity, by the yeses, that you're going to stop worrying about maybe the people that have left you, maybe the 3 months that you had the dip, you're going and you're running again. So the quickest way to get going is just to go back to the basics, get going again and get yourself to bronze, like JP said.
And let me tell you, I'm watching, and am I unmuted? Okay. And in the chat, the 60-year-olds are like, we're here. Don't discount us. We're present. They're all chiming in. I love it. And someone's asking Caroline that I have a boy with a disability. I have 3 kids. I'm just starting to build my team. Any advice for me? Because that can be a challenge with time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing that is incredible about this business is when you do have children who've got special needs or disabilities, or even, parents that you're caring for, anybody that you could be caring for, time can be, I guess it's a bit unreliable. You don't know when something's going to be sprung on you. You don't know when you have to attend a meeting or a hospital appointment or go to school. And that's the beauty of this business is that flexibility. A lot of employers would get pretty fed up with you saying, I've got to leave. I've got to rush off to care for somebody. And that's the beauty of this business. So first of all, it's going to offer you that flexibility that you need. And secondly, I think I would say, well, also familiarize yourself with the Planet Marketing Pledge because it really is incredible for what you will offer to all of your children, not just your little boy with disabilities. It's going to offer all your children the most incredible legacy. But also, I guess it's finding that time, whether maybe your little boy's in school and you've got time that you can work it when he's in school or early in the morning. For me, 6 a.m. is a great time to get work done. I know not everybody likes those early morning starts, but getting that work done before the day runs away with me. And then if the day doesn't pan out how I hoped it was going to, at least I've done a bit on my business between 6 and 7 a.m.
I love that. Latasha says, many people have stopped dreaming. And I understand that, Latasha. How do you get people to see it? Listen to me, Latasha. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You've got to keep going to find the right people. You cannot convince people. If people argue for their limitations, guess what? They get to keep them. There are so many motivated people that are simply motivated. And it's a matter of sometimes, Caroline, coming out of your circle. It may not be your best friends that you grew up with, it may be a different crew. You may think, I remember realizing when I started the industry of network marketing that my crew was not motivated and they weren't go-getters. I remember realizing, wow, I thought that we were go-getters. But this business exposes people like, wow, you guys don't want to go get anything more. You're content with your life. And so that's very common, Latasha. There are so many people out there who want to go get it. And one of the things I love is when you go to the UK events and you see the recognition. I remember just being in the UK I guess it was now maybe 6 months ago or less, I don't know. But the room was on fire. Everybody was so excited. And if you look around the room, you know, there are people excited. I just did a meeting yesterday in Dallas, lit. Everybody was lit up. We had meetings in Kansas City, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, all over the US, all over the UK. So would you agree, Caroline, there is evidence of motivated people. We just got to get to them.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's about surrounding yourself with the people that lift you up. Like they always say, you are the what I forgot what the word is, the result of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So find those people who are going to run at the same pace as you. Find those people who are going to dream big with you. And you know, you will always have, like, I think like very much like JP said, your success sometimes it highlights to other people their lack of drive, their lack of pushing themselves to achieve more, their being happy to settle. And that can be hard for some people to kind of, I guess, be shown the mirror and for them to see, you know, actually, I've settled for something. But, you know, going back to that, it's not too late for anybody. It's like you said, JP, you've got directors in your team who are in their 70s. It's incredible. This business can change. You know, it doesn't matter your background, your age. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what you were doing up to today. It's what you do from tomorrow. And that's the beauty of this business. It doesn't discriminate anybody from their background or what they've done up until today. What matters is what you do from tomorrow.
And what I love is we work with all kinds of people. Don't just stick with one group of people. I love that my business is diverse with male, female, black, white, brown, you know, young, old. I work with everyone. I have 18,000 people. Okay, there's just a lot of people, the 18,000 people. And so I love the diversity that we are exposed to. And I just love working with go-getters. Now, 4-star director LaVonda Thornton Bush said to you, Caroline, this question: how do you identify leaders on your team?
Do you know what I would say is they show themselves. They are the go-getters. They are the people who want to step up. They're the people who, you know, are getting the results. They ask if they can, you know, host meetings with you, do take on things from you. They are the people that step up and they will show themselves. Don't drag people along with you. You know, I think both of us will say, JP, at the pace we're moving at, you can't want this for people who don't want it for themselves. You have to want to run with me, and then I'm going to run with you. But you know, they have to want it, and they will show themselves 100%. They start to sort of step up, they start to get the results, they start to lead their own teams, and you will see them.
Okay, this is wonderful. I have dual nationality. I live between Scotland and Hawaii. Hawaii, woohoo! Awesome. I love it. Okay, so this one is a 2-part question. How do I share opportunity with my coworkers? And then someone else said, how do I work this business and not risk losing my job? So let me just say, work your job with integrity and work this business with discipline. Do not go on your job blatantly disrespecting those people who are paying you a wage. So try not to recruit your coworkers. That never works well. Don't, get caught doing things and working your business, at your job, be on your job. But you said something really powerful, Caroline. When you come home, don't be too tired to work on your empire. Don't be too tired to work on your dream. At the end of the day, when you come home from your job, are they going to pay you a legacy if you pass away? No. So work on your job harder than you work on your business, and give your business the same respect and hours you give your job. But when you're at your job, be present. Don't risk losing it and getting in trouble and stuff.
Absolutely. And don't be too exhausted from your 9 to 5 to come home and work on your dreams. You need to allocate time, allocate energy for that. But this is where it's about being intentional with your time. Be present in your 9 to 5, do the job. That's what's paying your salary. But have your goals that maybe, your goals are that you're going to step away from that at some point, and that's what you're working towards. Use that to motivate you to work outside, maybe like 5 to 9. You're doing this as your job, because this is what's going to, it can often be people's plan B, but it can quickly turn into a plan A if you're prepared to put the work in. It can replace a full-time income. But you also never know when you're 9 to 5, you might just be replaced. Everybody is replaceable. And that's the beauty of being your own boss, having your own business. You get paid for what you work for in this business. So put the work in, and just make sure that you're intentional and you allocate that time that it deserves.
Yeah, somebody said it's almost easier to talk to strangers than it is people you know. I think yes and no. I don't want us to discount people we know and just skip to strangers first. Talking to people you know, have real talk. I think a lot of times we don't have posture with our own family. A lot of times we're scared to talk to our own family. How is it easier to tell my sister, you're broke, you need some money? How is it easier not to tell my mom, you need this? Like sometimes we're afraid of our family. I'm not. I told my mother when I got started, give me your credit card. She said, for what? Because you book travel for free, mom. You're going to do this business. So talk strongly. I would say, encourage you, talk strongly to the people you love. Because if we really love them, then we want to help them. If they say no, at least you try. Try. That's all I'm asking, is that you at least try to save them from themselves. Because if you don't help them get travel money, they're going to ask you for travel money. If you don't help them get a check, they're going to ask you for a check. And I don't like people asking me for money, Caroline. I'd rather help them get their own.
Yeah.
And then go to the cold market. Go to the cold market. The cold market's great, but don't be afraid to talk to people you know too.
And I think if you've got that belief and you're 100% all in this business and in this product, and you've got that vision yourself, that excitement, sharing it with the people that you love and the people that you know should be easy, because you're going there and you've got to tell them, because otherwise they are going to miss out on it. And I'm very much like you, JP. I mean, my brother just recently joined the business, and I said to him, this time next year, I'm going to be making £100,000 a month. And I said, you can either keep watching me or you can join me. Which one are you going to do? Like
that's a flex. That's a flex. We call that a flex. I'm going to make £100,000 a month. And what are you going to be doing, sir? I love it. You got to talk to your brothers and sisters and cousins and moms and dads. And then sometimes we have to show them. But, my thing is we want to see people do better that we love. We really do. And so, Caroline, I'd love if you are a director, if you're a 4-star and above and you're with us, please raise your hand. All of our 4 stars. Would you raise your hand? I see Louise Gatlin in the room. I know you have some of your 3 and 4 stars on as well, Caroline. Louise, what would be your closing thoughts on this powerful conversation today?
I have absolutely loved hearing this. And you know what? It's really a fire in me and reminded me of why I joined nearly 8 years ago. Just knowing that we have got this incredible opportunity to go out there and help as many people as we can, but also appreciating that a lot of people are genuinely just going to watch us. Like Caroline's brother, how long has he watched her in this journey before he finally took the leap and joined her? But you know what? It took for Caroline to document it and show that it actually worked, to give him that kick in the right direction. And I think for me, that's the biggest thing. You have to stick and stay and keep doing it, what you're doing. You know, that posture that Caroline went to her brother with is, it's in my notes. It is phenomenal. And that is a posture that every single one of us should have. People might not be in a situation where they can go, okay, next year I'm going to be earning $100,000 a month. Okay. However, you could easily say in the next 5 years, I am going to be earning that amount of money. Why? Because we're watching people do it. We're watching people like Caroline and that are coming in and going to those income levels. You are the ones that are going to be setting the goals. And, I think somebody wrote it in the chat earlier on, have a goal and double it. And that's what every single one of us should be doing on here. But it's been absolutely phenomenal and it's really fired me up. So thank you so much, ladies.
Well, thank you so much, Louise, for earning that six-figure ring and showing that you can earn six figures from home. I love your story. I have Director Bush, four-star director LaVonda Thornton Bush. What would be your closing thoughts or comments on today's commentary with Caroline Hamilton, Director Bush?
Yes, first of all, thank you both so much for your professionalism, for your excitement, for leading from the front and sharing your behind the scenes energy with us. It definitely is appreciated. And, I absolutely love the collaboration piece in this. Mr. Bradley has done such a great job bringing his leaders together. And, when we come together, I probably was so weird with Caroline when I first met her at convention. I was hugging her like a super fan. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you. Like she was, Madonna or something, right? And I just appreciate, you guys being very candid with us. So I would say my takeaways definitely are, transfer those skills. We finally have an opportunity where we're not limited. And if $500,000 is on the table, both of you ladies are so powerful, yet you operated in your purpose and your gift. And so it definitely inspired me today to tap into my gift and my purpose and to instill that in others as well. So I absolutely love this so much. I have pages of notes. Thank you.
And you know what, Caroline, LaVonda's daughter and Louise's daughters are winning cheerleaders. They're a part of the, cheerleaders that, are the, not at the school, but the ones that like rock it out. What do you call them? LaVonda, Louise, what's the name of the,
They compete against the rest of the world.
well,
yes. We basically go to Florida and we compete against the rest of the
Yes.
world. But yeah, worldwide cheerleaders.
Their daughters are winners. They're not just out there shaking their tootie. They're actually winning. Like it's precise. I'm like, whoa, they don't play any game. National champions. Okay, there we go. So do you have any of your directors on? Because I don't know if I've missed someone, Caroline. Did anyone raise their hand? I just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget anyone or lose anyone. For some of those directors, please raise your hand if you are here. I have one last question. A young lady said, Caroline, that she works a lot. She has a business that's very demanding, 9 to 5. And how do you fit time? And I got to be honest, this is not a business that you can't not make a contribution. And I have to be honest, Kira, you have to do what you have to do if that's what you have to do. And so for Caroline and I, when we started this business, this is what we chose to do. And it's a choice. Whatever you're doing, if it's paying the bills, stick with it. This business is not for everyone. We can't tell you stop doing this so that you don't pay your, no, we're saying for those of you who can find time, do that. Or like us, we this is what we chose to do full time. And we decided to turn it into $500,000 and we'll be $1 million next year. giving you 6 figures in America. I don't know if they give you 6 figures in the UK. If you make 6 figures in the US, you are there, you're dedicated, $250,000, $500,000. Guys, you have to have time to do that. You have to dedicate time to do that. Anybody who's making money in business, whether we own an ice cream shop, a restaurant, we spend time doing those things that earn us money. So yes, you can find pockets of time, but you must take some time. Caroline, what are your closing thoughts on that?
I think it's like you said, JP, we're not telling you to take away from something that's paying you. However, if you are in a job that you are having to work all hours of the day, maybe it's time to reassess and allocate some time to get yourself out of that position. I can't tell you what's going to work for you and what's going to work for your family. Of course, you need to continue to earn the income, but if there is a small period of time that you can start to work, because what this business gives you is that time freedom that you're looking for, that you're craving for your life. Don't work all hours of the day for somebody else. Don't work all hours of the day and still be scraping to get by at the end of the day. Put some time into a business that is going to pay you, because what you put into this business over the course of time, it will pay you back tenfold. But you have to put it in. There has to be some sacrifices, right? I always say, it's a Tim Grover quote, and he says, there has to be, a period, I've lost the quote there, but where there has to be, the most driven individuals lead a life without balance for many years. And that's just how it has to be. I remembered it for you. And it's true, JP, isn't it?
Yeah.
The most driven individuals will live a life without balance. And if you want something, then you have to work for it. And it's hard finding the balance. But if this is what you want, and you want the time freedom for you and for your family, then you have to find the time to sacrifice to work this as well.
Every sacrifice has been worth it. Every sacrifice has been worth it. So I want you guys to please put in the chat. They are laughing really hard. My family is here and for Father's Day, and they're just laughing their heads off. Guys, what I love is that we get a chance to choose. And I want to thank all the fathers for choosing time to be with us. Can we put Happy Father's Day in the chat? Let's celebrate those dads.
It's Father's Day here in the UK as well, JP.
Yay! Happy Father's Day. And I don't know about you, Caroline, but I love that our husbands support us.
100%.
I love that, your husband was kind of talking to you about this event and you guys were talking about it. And my husband was talking about this event with me. And I love it that we have supportive spouses, because not everybody does. But whether they like it or not, we had our minds made up, didn't we? But they do support us. But we were like, this is what we're doing, And they respect our decision. They respect what we're doing. And so I thank you for taking time out today to be with me, give that UK perspective, help people understand that we can make dollars, pounds. One day it'll be pesos and yen. One day it's going to be, but we have that international connection as powerful women in business. And I want to thank you for that. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you so much for inviting me, JP. It's honestly been an honor to co-host this call with you this evening. I just really appreciate being asked.
We got to do it again.
We will.
We absolutely do. So thank you guys for being on this Father's Day. We want everybody to go out and be exceptional, be great. Please, guys, take this business, get back with the person who invited you, get started, and we welcome you to the best place on the planet. Have a great evening. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Coach JP.
Thank you, JP.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank
you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye,
Thanks, Coach.
everybody.